Recently, Korean experts are in the news, urging to follow TSMC's success model. Samsung's Q3 2014 this year, TSMC's revenue hit a new high. Rival Intel faces massive foundry losses. Even CEO Gelsinger retired grimly. Samsung's foundry also suffers huge losses, facing discussions of a split-up. The three once dominant semiconductor giants, why are their fates so different now?
The development of all this began with the 2014 10-nanometer process war.
When the 28-nanometer process was mainstream, in 2013, TSMC was first to mass-produce 20-nanometer, ahead of other competitors. But since 2014, TSMC faced severe challenges. Intel's 14-nanometer process began mass production, also actively planning its 10-nanometer process to secure its tech lead in semiconductors. Also, since the first iPad in 2010, the PC market growth started to slow down, causing Intel's CPU business to decline, prompting Intel to enter the foundry market. In 2013, it won Cisco's processor orders. Although its customer count was limited, it showed its intent in the foundry market. Samsung and TSMC fought for iPhone orders. Though Samsung long made iPhone processors, Apple was always wary of Samsung, so it secretly contacted TSMC. In 2011, Apple sued Samsung for copying and began to move away from Samsung. By 2014, TSMC's 20-nanometer was in mass production. Samsung's 20-nanometer still had yield issues. TSMC won all AA processor orders from Samsung. But what happened next was a twist. Leong Mong-song, who left TSMC for Samsung, helped Samsung skip the 20-nanometer process. Its 14-nanometer trial chip surpassed TSMC's 20-nanometer, and mass production was expected in 2015, trying to win back Apple's A9 orders. Facing tech leader Intel and a surging Samsung, TSMC was attacked from both sides. Internally, TSMC declared the 10-nanometer stage was a battle that must be won. To rush the 10-nanometer process, TSMC created Project Nighthawk in 2014, led by CEO Morris Chang himself, offering 30% more salary, 50% more bonus. 400-plus R&D staff worked 3 shifts, 24/7, to develop the 10-nanometer process. The goal? Surpass Intel and Samsung in 2 years. TSMC didn't just recruit internally, it also recruited publicly, creating a buzz. The 100,000 livers to save Taiwan slogan appeared. Supporting Project Nighthawk was TSMC's rising capital and R&D spending. The first thing Chang did as returning CEO was raising capex from $2.7 billion to $5.9 billion, more than doubling it. TSMC's annual capital spending kept rising. By 2013, it reached $9.7 billion, reaching the same level as Samsung and Intel. TSMC's 2014 Project Nighthawk finally paid off in 2016. TSMC's 10-nanometer process was trialed in 2015 and entered mass production in Q4 2016. In comparison, Intel announced its 10-nanometer process in 2014, but CEO Krasnich wanted in-house production. He decided not to rely on ASML's EUV, choosing to use DUV multi-patterning. This raised technical difficulty and costs, causing repeated delays to the 10-nanometer process. By 2016, it still couldn't start production, gradually losing its process technology lead. The seesaw battle for Apple processor orders was decided in 2015 and 2016. The 2015 iPhone 6s processor A9 was co-produced by TSMC and Samsung 3-2. TSMC used a 16-nanometer process, Samsung used the more advanced 14-nanometer process. But some users found after testing that TSMC's A9 chip used less power than Samsung's chip, forcing Apple to issue a statement that the chip difference was less than 3% to quell consumer anger. This led TSMC to win all A10 orders in 2016. TSMC became the sole maker for A-series chips. From the 28-nanometer to 10-nanometer process was a turning point for the semi-industry. Intel, due to a poor technical decision, repeatedly delayed its 10-nanometer mass production. It fell behind its rivals in process technology. With help from Leong Mong-song, Samsung skipped the 20-nanometer process, going for 14-nanometer. Though it quickly surpassed TSMC's 20-nanometer and 16-nanometer, it failed to control yield and power. Instead of overtaking, it crashed. TSMC chose to invest more R&D funds and time, and was first to achieve stable 10-nanometer mass production. Retired former TSMC CEO Morris Chang, at his autobiography's book launch, summarized the three companies' performance. He felt Intel lacked a new business strategy, Samsung faced technical bottlenecks, TSMC relied on manufacturing first and customer trust to gain a technological lead. As processes enter the sub-2 angstrom era, is the semi-industry at another turning point? Will the TSMC, Intel, and Samsung rivalry change? Let's wait and see.